Welcome back to Hannity. So if there weren't enough problems emerging about the president's health care law, there is now undercover video of government employees actually encouraging people to lie on their health care applications. That's right. The conservative group known as Project Veritas captured the following hidden camera footage of the so-called Obamacare navigators who were on duty at a National Urban League site in Texas. Watch this.
They have, I don't know where it said something about if you smoke or something like that. But I really don't smoke. I may
lie because your premiums will be higher.
Okay.
I always allow mine.
Okay. The other stuff I do is like barber, or I'll go and clean houses and things like that, just to get extra money on the side. But I never filed that type of stuff on my about my taxes.
How are you supposed to file a percentage of it?
A percent.
On a cash basis.
Okay.
Don't get yourself in trouble by declaring it now.
Exactly.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty unbelievable. Here with reaction from Concerned Vets for Americans. Pete Hegseth is back with us. Former Obama and Pelosi advisor Ellen Qualls is with us. Ellen, we learned in the process here that the navigators, there was no background check. Is that a wise thing to do?
I think there is a background check. They can't police every one of them, and no question here. As a Democrat, I'd have to say stipulated these folks shouldn't be doing that.
That's not true, because we were told that there was no criminal background check of the people that are hired as the navigators. Senator Cornyn was questioning.
I don't know if it's a criminal background check. There might be another kind of background check.
Okay, don't you think a criminal background check when you're giving out information that could be used for identity theft, don't you think that's a pretty smart thing to do in a situation like this?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
This is what I was going to say. It's stipulated these folks are doing the wrong thing and we should get rid of them. But that's, this is looking
that's
at
nice of you to
a very
say
small
now.
fringe.
Is that sort of like Nancy Pelosi you used to work for? If you got to pass the law to find out what's in it? We got to hire the, doesn't that sound like every other screw up that we've had up to this point?
No, either we fire these folks and they could go work on Wall Street and help the $190 billion worth of income that's hidden offshore by affluent people from underreporting income each year.
We're not talking about Wall Street. Aren't you embarrassed? You support this plan. We spend 3 years and hundreds of millions of dollars, and you got three techies that are in college that did a better site in 3 days?
Sean, we're all embarrassed as Democrats, but we love the plan. We love the plan because you know what? History lesson, this was the Republican plan in the early 90s. That's why it's
no Republican supported this. Not one Republican voted for this. That's a lie.
In the early 90s during the Clinton administration, this was the let's fix the private insurance system and make it work instead of making it a government system.
All right, so the president said if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. Is that true or is that not true?
It's true for 95% of Americans.
I didn't ask you if it's true for 90. He didn't say for 5%. And by the way, your number's wrong. Can every American that likes their plan keep their plan? That's what the president promised, isn't it?
The ones who have, mostly through the individual, which was the broken marketplace.
I didn't ask you about that. The president said if you like your plan, you can keep your plan, period. Did he tell the truth?
He told the truth for the 95%.
Told the truth for the 95%. He lied to the other 5%. When he said if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
He probably misspoke.
He probably misspoke 30 times?
Probably misspoke 30 times.
30 times? Peter.
Sean, this is what do you expect when you outsource implementation to, frankly, left-wing organizations, community organizers that were given $67 million and 50,000 employees to implement Obamacare and do? These are groups working with Battleground Texas, working with Acorn, working with openly Obama-allied groups to enroll people with very little screening and background check. It isn't wrong. It's out and out lawless.
Acorn doesn't even exist anymore.
There's many affiliates of Acorn still out there, and James O'Keefe, thankfully, is going to expose what they're doing as well.
James O'Keefe is somebody who even Glenn Beck has discredited for editing videotape.
You heard it right there. You heard people on the tape.
Is that videotape lying?
You saying the tape was lying?
I don't know, because he has a huge history of
right,
editing
let me ask
tape
you this
in a very
question,
false
because
way.
you're telling something that's not true, too. You're talking about 5%. We know in the government register that they knew in July of 2010 that 65% of small businesses would be funneled into the government system, the majority of individual accounts would be funneled into the government system, and 45% of big business. So you're saying 5%, and we've had analysts...
What are you even talking about when you say the government
system? Let me
system,
finish.
Sean?
We've
It's
had
all private
analysts and
insurance.
experts on this show say it's closer to 100 million Americans. We know it's millions, and it will be tens of millions of Americans that lose their plan. Why do you defend what was the key promise here by the president, that if you like it, you can keep it? I want to know why.
Because 4 out of 5 Americans already had health insurance that would meet the threshold of being decent care.
What about every American that is getting a
cancellation
cancellation letter?
To use it?
What do you say to them when their president told them something that's not true?
Well, you know, there was the poster woman for this a couple weeks ago when the story first started being reported, who, you know, came out and said, I got this letter, you know, I'm going to lose my plan. And when she found out the better plan she could get with the subsidy and how she could afford it, she wanted the new plan.
Peter, the government knows best. The government knows how to raise our kids. They know what we should pick for our health care plan. They know everything.
It's private insurance, Sean.
But you decide. Why do I have...
No, but
you can't keep your plan.
That's exactly right. It's the technocrats that want to decide what plans I must have. I don't get to choose. My plan's not good enough, so I get rid of it. The president said you get to keep your plan, period. Not hedge, not hem, not 10%, not 5%. He said period. And we said that he knew people were going to be kicked off the plans they like and they want and be forced to purchase something else. That is a lie, and we need to call it what it is.
All right, I got one last question for you, Ellen. President Clinton, I'm sure you love President Clinton, right?
I do.
He said that the president ought to keep his promise. Do you agree with President Clinton?
I don't.
You don't?
Because
so you're
what
all
that
for
would
the
be
president
doing,
breaking his word?
Well, and what Senator Johnson's bill would do is basically force people to stay in really bad plans that would bankrupt them if they ever got sick.
Why do you think...
people
wait a
off
minute.
their
They would choose to stay there. Why do you think, the arrogance of you people on the left, that you think you know better? If people want their plan, who are you to tell them that they ought to go to a better plan that costs them more money?
That's right.
Who are you? Why do you get to
am I?
decide that? Why does the government get to decide that? Why, aren't you pro-choice? Apparently not.
You got me there, Sean.
Checkmate.